hopeful sign from New York is our first topic today on CNN 10. I'm Carl Azus, obviously not in our studio for the time being, and I know many of you are not watching from the place where you normally see the show, so thank you for taking the 10 minutes to watch. Here's what's going on in the Empire State. It's the epicenter of the COVID-19 outbreak in America. More than 75,000 cases have been confirmed in New York. So what's hopeful about that? Well, even though the disease is still spreading there and the number of deaths are increasing, the rate of infection might be slowing down. And here's what we mean. The state's governor says the number of coronavirus cases was doubling every 2 days at one point. But then it seemed to slow down, doubling every 3 days, then 4 days. Now it's every 6 days. And a CNN count found that New York's daily increase in coronavirus cases over the past week was less than a third of the daily increase in the week beforehand. So what all this may indicate is that the spread of coronavirus in America's hardest hit state may be significantly slowing down. This isn't proven yet. There's a backlog in coronavirus testing there, so we don't know the true number of cases right this moment. We also don't know why they're slowing down, if they're slowing down. New York has strict limits on who's allowed to go to work, and it's banned parties and celebrations entirely. It's possible that could be having an impact, though the program's only been in place for a week. New York alone has more than 40% of all the coronavirus cases in America, and it's looking for all the help it can get.
Help arriving in New York with the Navy hospital ship Comfort, 1,000 beds on board to help ease overcrowding in the city's hospitals. In Central Park, a new field hospital reserved for those with the virus, as the governor pleads for more help.
If you don't have a health care crisis in your community, please come help us in New York now. We need relief. We need relief for nurses who are working 12-hour shifts, one after the other after the other. We need relief for doctors. We need relief for attendants. And we will return the favor.
Healthcare workers may be welcome, yet from New England to Texas, officials are increasingly wary of travelers, mandating self-quarantine for those crossing state lines. Hotspots like Chicago, Detroit, and New Orleans continue to see a spike in cases and are sounding the alarm.
COVID-19 is not considered a foodborne illness. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration says it doesn't know of any cases when someone's caught the disease through the food we eat. But some health officials are concerned there's a small chance the virus could be transmitted through packaging if someone who's sick handles it. So they're suggesting that we throw away our takeout containers, that we wipe down our groceries, and that we wash our hands after touching takeout boxes and containers. Meanwhile, the restaurants that do the cooking for us are having to change the way they do business in order to stay in business.
This is what customers have come to expect when they go to Henry's Louisiana Grill. It's packed, it's loud, and it's full of life. But this is what it looks like now, the hard impact of the coronavirus pandemic.
I reckon this to giving blood. Every drop counts. Every little drop, every penny.
Chef and owner Henry Chandler gets emotional when he talks about the future of his restaurant.
We're about 85% to 90% down on our regular sales. And that's tough. It's tough, tough, tough.
And like many restaurants around the country, Chandler's had to figure out how to reopen his restaurant as a pickup-only establishment and make the place safer than ever before.
So can I take a temperature?
This is their new normal now. Staff check for fever at the door.
They do not enter the building until we check them. They cannot report to work if they have any temperature, any of the signs of the COVID.
All right, I'm sure I'm like many of you. You miss your favorite restaurant, you want to support the local economy, but you got a question inside you. Is it safe? Is it safe to get the takeout?
I actually see takeout food being a really good option for individuals who are trying to limit their exposure to people.
Food safety specialist Benjamin Chapman says that's because even though a takeout package may carry the virus, the chances you'll get infected by that is really, really low. And if you get food delivered, Dr. Sanjay Gupta says leave the food packaging on your front porch.
And then when we come in, we sort of wipe any of the surfaces that any of the remaining packaging is on, and then obviously wash our hands, keeping in mind that it's hand touching and then hands to face.
10 Second trivia. Of these world cities, whose name means Eastern Capital? Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, Tokyo, Japan, Beijing, China, or Ottawa, Canada? Originally named Edo, the Japanese city of Tokyo was renamed in 1868. People there are being told to avoid the city's famous karaoke venues and nightclubs. As of Tuesday night, Tokyo was not under lockdown like some other world capitals dealing with coronavirus. But an increasing number of businesses are shutting down, and as we reported yesterday, the Tokyo Summer Olympics that were supposed to start this July have been postponed until next July. In normal times, it's an amazing city to visit. So we're taking you on a virtual field trip now to give you a taste of Tokyo when there's no threat of COVID-19.
From the 54th floor of the Tokyo World Trade Center, the city looks like a scene from a sci-fi movie. Skyscrapers as far as the eye can see. But on the ground, visitors have plenty of new and old world experiences to choose from. A great place to start is the fish market, one of the largest in the world.
Tsukiji Fish Market is an only in Tokyo experience. It's some of the freshest fish in the world, and most restaurants in Tokyo serve fish from this market.
Tourists are allowed to wander the hustle and bustle of the inner market starting at 9 a.m. Fish in all shapes and sizes are prepped and ready for sale. If looking at all that fish puts you in the mood for a meal, you can eat like a local and grab a bowl of noodles at the outer market. Another fun and inexpensive option is kaiten sushi. Pick and choose what you want to eat as it rolls by on a conveyor belt. And if you've ever wondered where restaurants get the lifelike plastic food they display in their windows, you can head to Kappabashi. Here a wide range of kitchen and dining supplies can be found. But the big draw is the selection of plastic food and drink. So everyone can take a bit of sushi home in their suitcase. Tokyo is a perfect city to people watch, and Harajuku, a pedestrian-only street, is the perfect place.
Harajuku is to Tokyo what the East Village is to New York. It's really the counterculture hub of the city.
Students head to the shopping district to see and be seen. If you want to take a break from the chaos and find a little calm in the city, head to any one of the many Tokyo parks. This one, Hamariku Gardens, in the southern part of the city, is a perfect place to picnic or rest a few minutes and enjoy a cup of tea. The tea house, originally built in 1707, was used by shoguns and imperial court nobles who enjoyed the view and the relaxed atmosphere. Mind you, the view has changed quite a bit since the 18th century. Also on the quieter side,
The Asakusa Shrine. It was one of the few structures in the complex to survive the bombings of World War II. It's just a beautiful place to go and stroll.
this popular Buddhist temple built in 1649 is an odd mix of worshippers and tourists. The incense mixes with the smells of vendors selling traditional snacks and sweets. After dark, the place to be is the Shibuya district.
It's packed full of people all the time, and at night the neon signs just glow. It's really famous for what's called the Scramble Crossing. All of the lights at this intersection turn at the same time, so all the traffic stops at once. And the crowds just swarm into the middle of it, fighting to get to the opposite side. It's really quite a sight.
In a town of northern Wales, United Kingdom, the wild goats that roam the hillside don't usually fan out along the streets. But because people there are being told to stay home to avoid coronavirus, the streets are quieter than usual, and these are now homes where great Orm Kashmiri goats roam. One resident said he didn't mind because he didn't have to trim the hedge as often, but if you wake up one morning to find they've eaten your garden, well, it's gonna get your goat. It'd make anyone gruff at the idea, even if they're not named Billy. If the kids get out of hand, you'll have to call Nanny. If that doesn't work, I bex you'll have to pass the buck. But sooner or later, things will get back to normal, and there's just not going to be a ruminant in town for everyone. I'm Carl Azus. Some of you attend Rutherford Early College High School. Thank you for watching from Spindale, North Carolina, and thanks to our viewers all over the world for watching CNN.